Should you avoid watching pornography? I'm going to be talking today about the good and the bad with pornography. And the first thing I want to say is that nobody should be shamed for their sexual desires. As long as it's not hurting yourself and not hurting anybody else, then it's fine. And you can't avoid pornography these days. It's everywhere, and you're going to be exposed to it, and it does have good things and it does have bad things. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to just talk to you about is who watches it. So you've got 70 to 80% of men that watch it and 32% of women that watch it. And there are three reasons why people actually watch pornography. So the first one is purely out of curiosity. The second thing is to create sexual desire. And sadly, the third thing is to learn about the anatomy and learn about sex. Unfortunately, pornography is so fake that it's actually not a real reflection of a loving sexual relationship. So I've had many calls from Indian people, men and women, that tell me they use pornography to learn about sex. So that's another story. I've done a video a long time ago on that. Anyhow, so what are the good things about pornography? Well, the good things is that for couples, it can create sexual desire and it can promote positivity in a sexual relationship. I know it did for me at the beginning of my marriage. Not towards the end. I'd avoid it like the plague because I didn't want anything to do with him. After that, that story is being discussed in my sexplosion, my marriage to my narcissist, sociopath husband for 10 years. It's nothing short of horrid. So anyway, that's my Sexplosion podcast. You can find that on Spotify. But anyway, back to this. So the other very good use for pornography is for women who have a low libido. There are women who have a responsive sexual desire. You've got spontaneous and you've got responsive. And with responsive, you need to have that trigger to make you feel like doing it. Most women feel like they don't want sex, but in actual fact they probably do. They just need a trigger, and that's what pornography can do for a woman. I know when I used to watch it, I used to want a little bit of a story to it, not go straight in there. So it was always difficult for me to try and find one where there was a bit of a story to it. When a couple meet and then they talk together and then they start, when it's just straight in there. For a woman, it needs to have a little bit more of a connection with the couple first. Anyhow, so they are the good things about pornography. Now, the bad things is that if you are already in a depression, then it can actually be problematic and people can get addicted to it. And the reason why they can get addicted is because in our brains, when we like something a lot and we enjoy something, dopamine is released in our brains. That is the pleasure hormone. And what happens is that when we are watching or doing something that we really enjoy, we get this dopamine release. Now, what happens with a porn film is that you can get your satisfaction, which is sex is one of those things that we can get addicted to. And of course what happens is that you're watching it and you're really satisfied in more ways. Maybe you're touching yourself, or maybe just watching it, and the dopamine gets released. And what can happen is that you have such a high when you're watching a porno film that when it comes to actually having it with your partner, it's not the same. And it can actually have a detrimental effect on a relationship in that way. So it's actually called problematic pornography use. So it's not actually something that is diagnosed, but that's the name they've given to it. So there's just a few things that you might want to consider for pornography. And if you are one of those people and you think, if you think you have a problem, you probably do. So why don't you give me a call, let me know if this is you, and we can work a way forward. So let me know. Listen, I just want to thank you so much for being on this channel. If you have never met me before, my name's Caroline Chenier. I'm an intimacy relationship coach. I also have a TikTok, which you might want to join for a live. I will be doing lives here as well. So thank you so much. Please subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much. I'll see you again soon.